Welcome to Real Estate Game Changers Radio, featuring real estate trendsetters and industry influencers, sharing tips and strategies to help home buyers and home sellers get the most out of their next real estate transaction. Now, here's your host, Suzanne Doyle Ingram.
This is Suzanne Doyle Ingram, your host of Real Estate Game Changers Radio, and I have a fantastic guest on the show today. You are going to love this interview. Jesse's been working in real estate since 2008, and prior to that he had a very interesting entrepreneurial background, as well as a degree in psychology, which helps very much with real estate. And then he started working with his wife, Monique, in 2014, and they have just taken over North Vancouver. Like, you would not believe, like gangbusters. They're in the top 3% in all of Canada, and in fact, they doubled their business in this year compared to last year. So I'm really excited to have Jesse on the show. Welcome, Jesse Williamson.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for being here. It's just exciting to finally pin you down. I know you're super busy. So let's start out right away with, tell me what you love about your career in real estate.
Yeah, I think the driving factor in the real estate game is just generally helping people. I remember when I first started, just the feeling of getting people to a successful transaction, whether it's selling their house or buying their first place, buying their forever home. You know, that's kind of, that's the best feeling for a real estate agent, is when your clients are happy. And I think that's definitely the driving factor for me. The kind of the business side in general, I love the versatility of the job itself and kind of how creative you can be in either marketing a home or trying to find somewhere for people to buy. It's just a very dynamic position.
Mm-hmm. And how do your clients come to you? How do they find you?
Well, when I started, it was just laying the groundwork, doing door knocking, calling all of my friends, colleagues, anyone I had, trying to gain exposure for being a real estate agent. And now most of our business is based on referrals. We do a little bit of lead generating, but I would say it's 90 to 95% referrals now. Oh,
that's great. That must mean you have very happy customers.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Now, do you work all the time? How does that work with your career?
I would say we're on 24/7, definitely. I still manage to obviously carve out time for my family, my wife, my new baby, and my stepdaughter and my dog.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I would say we're definitely on all the time.
Oh, that's amazing. I don't know how you do it all, especially with your brand new baby.
It's fun. It's challenging, but it's the benefit of the job. You can make time when you need to make time. Yeah,
that's nice. It's very flexible, isn't it?
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. So I mentioned that you've been in real estate since 2008. Tell me, why did you decide to become a realtor?
Well, honestly, I just came out of school. I was doing, kind of made myself a variety of positions while I was at university to make ends meet and pay for tuition. When coming out, my family has a pretty long real estate background. My mom is a real estate agent in North Vancouver as well.
Oh, great.
And even her uncle was an immigrant from Slovakia, and he came in with nothing. He started at a gas station, then worked his way up to become a lawyer, and then started doing commercial real estate, just buying, selling, and that's kind of how he made it in Canada. And I think it kind of just, works down the generations to the point where became the main option for me at a university.
No, so when you were a child growing up, was your mom a realtor then?
Oh yeah, since I was 3 years old.
Oh, same with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you remember, her kind of trying to run into your sports teams and all that kind of stuff at the last minute. My mom was like that.
That's it. And she was just, the dinner table chatter was always real estate based, and it was kind of going over her day, and so really you just grow up on it.
Yeah, I love it. That's why I have the show, and that's why I do the real estate books, because I love real estate. And it's funny because the more people I interview, the more realtors I interview, the more I think, oh, I should be a realtor.
Totally.
But I do love what I do now, so you can't do it all, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I had mentioned that you and Monique working together, I mean, when you guys combined forces, your career is just, I mean, Monique was already very successful, and so were you. But together, it's amazing what you've done, doubling your business this year compared to last year. Yeah,
it's been pretty crazy. We just work really well together. We have similar yet obviously parts of our personalities are different. We work to each other's advantages.
Yeah.
And, we drive each other along, and pushing each other is it's been very rewarding.
Are you competitive with each other?
Definitely. We're definitely a little competitive.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, but it works because we work off each other really well.
That's perfect. So I know you guys are in the Diamond Club, which is the top 3% of realtors. And have you won any other awards?
Last year we were Medallion as well. So together we're doing pretty well in the awards. And this year, I'm not sure, actually it's November, but we had a great year this year, and the market's kind of been very good to us.
Good. I'm so glad, and I'm sure it'll continue on for sure. So tell me about, I know this is putting you on the spot, and sometimes it's hard to answer, but in an ideal world, what's the perfect client that you enjoy working with?
Yes, that's a tough question, because all of our clients are different.
Yeah.
And, my perfect client is a happy client.
Yeah.
I can't say one type of client. We work with all sorts of clients. I've got a large base of first-time home buyers.
Yeah.
We've helped a significant amount of downsizers, families transitioning. Investors are obviously great to work with because that's more of a business end, and I love the way that kind of stimulates the brain to look at the numbers side only.
Right, because an investor doesn't have to fall in love with the home. They just want to know if the numbers are going to work.
That's it. They're just looking for, value, if they can add value. If, there's a speculative part of that, it's a different side of residential real estate. And to say that, you have a perfect client, it just doesn't resonate with me, because I think the real estate itself comes with a variety of clients, and they're all beneficial because they're all educating me on an ongoing basis. And, I just like to work with all types of clients. That's
great. And I think it really sums it up when you say a perfect client is a happy client.
That's it. We just love our happy clients, and work our hardest to make them all happy.
And that's why you get so many referrals.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So this might be giving away trade secret. You can say pass if you want to, but it just came to me. Do you usually give a gift to your clients after you close a sale? And if so, what is it?
When we kind of do it I like to do it in a tiered system.
Okay.
When they come to a firm deal, I like to get them a bottle of champagne, because no matter what, if you're buying real estate, it's a celebration.
Yeah.
Or if you've just come to a firm sale and sold your home, then of course that's a big celebration right there. But at the end, of course, we also like to get a little housewarming gift for our clients.
Oh, yeah. And I guess it's different for everyone because it depends on what they like. Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, that's great. I mean, I think it would be sad if someone didn't even like champagne. I was going to say,
right.
I guess some people don't, but...
you always have a use for a bottle of champagne, I think.
Yeah, even if you give it away to somebody else and make them happy, right?
Yeah.
So I know you're so busy with your careers, but is there anything that you do for community activities and giving back to your community?
Well, we don't have a specific charity that we have started ourselves, although that's something we'd like to look into in the future. But we do just reflecting on our year here, we do a lot of community involvement in smaller portions. Like a friend of ours passed away. We were helping the family with a fundraiser.
Oh, good.
I partook in a soccer fundraiser that helped BC Children's Hospital.
Oh, great.
What else? Our office hosts a reverse draw that helps North Shore Crisis Service Societies, the Sunshine Coast Community Services, and Dress for Success Vancouver.
Oh, that's great.
So we helped find gifts for the draw throughout our neighborhood.
Good.
What else? The blanket drive. The real estate board has a blanket drive that we also do some good donations for as well.
Oh, and so the blanket drive is collecting blankets for homeless people?
That's for the homeless, in the winter.
Yeah. See, where we live here in Vancouver, North Vancouver area, what some of our listeners might not realize is that there's a lot of homeless people that are literally living outside. In other parts of North America, you would freeze to death, but because it's, and they need blankets. So that's a beautiful charity that you're supporting. I think that's really, obviously we need help to find homes for these people, but in the meantime, the blankets are great.
Especially now, it's just starting to turn to be a bit colder, so just getting them some clothes and some blankets, we think it's a definitely a worthy cause.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me about where you work, North Vancouver, and what's great about that city?
North Vancouver, you're essentially working on the side of a mountain. So I just love, no matter where you are, you get a great view of the city, the water. For the fear of sounding like a broken record, everyone says it, but, you're sitting right here on the side of a mountain. You can go snowboarding.
Yeah.
You can go skiing. Right now, we're looking at opening the mountains.
Yeah.
I love that you're about an hour and a half from Whistler, which is, great summer and winter.
Yeah, all year round. I love Whistler.
Absolutely. There's trails all over the place. So we have a great dog, and I just love walking her around the trails. And then water sports as well. Like we recently just got a boat, which we're excited about.
That's
great. Can't wait to take that out of the water. We have paddle boarding. We love it. You can hit the beach. You can hit the mountain. What else? I also love to play soccer, and they do a lot of investing in the fields here, and turf and grass. So I think the North Vancouver does a good job at creating a lot of activities for all ages.
That's a great point. That I never really thought about the fact that North Van really is right on the side of the mountain, and I know it is a cliche, but I don't know if our listeners have all heard that. But Vancouver, it's right on the Pacific Ocean, and we literally can. I mean, I don't think anybody does this, but you could go paddleboarding in the morning and then skiing in the afternoon.
That's what everyone says. You could legitimately do it, though.
I don't know who's done it, but we do have that amazing lifestyle here. It's just, it's so beautiful. So very, very lucky. And, so let's see. I wanted to ask you also about an example of someone that you've worked with. Maybe, I don't know what you want. You could go with like a new home buyer that you helped, or, maybe a foreign buyer moving here for the first time, immigrating, or, give me an example of someone you've worked with, what their situation was and how you helped them.
Sure. The recent example is, actually a good friend of mine. He had a dog that was 130 pounds.
Wow.
He's a first-time home buyer, and this dog just kind of kept growing and growing. So when he came to me just looking for a place, I thought, no problem, we can find you something. But when he told me that his dog was 130 pounds, it becomes a little tricky to get him into an apartment.
Yeah.
So I spent every day just looking through the listings, trying to find something that would allow or accommodate big dogs, and just to get him a place that was a good size, that was pet friendly, and that was kind of in the area and close to the amenities he wanted. It was hugely successful, I think, because it's tough when you've got that kind of restriction on your search.
Yeah.
He was very happy. I was very happy that we could get him something that he was really in love with.
And it's so funny how some people have a kind of a negative mentality that just to say, well, no, that's not possible. It's just not possible, and you just kept going.
Oh, I would love a challenge. Helping people find homes is, it's, day in, day out searching. When you find a place, then you have to, the next level kicks in where you have to then evaluate it, make sure it works for them, and make sure they're very happy with it.
And do you find sometimes that people don't know what they want, or they don't know what they don't know?
Yeah, I've been doing this for 8 years. I feel like I'm still learning. So just to have another job and then come in to be looking for a place, there's tons of stuff that people don't know. So we just do our utmost to educate them so that when they end up closing on a place, they're happy, they're fully educated, and they know at the end of the day what they truly need. Yeah, I think that's so true. I remember when my husband and I were buying our first home, and my brother was a realtor too with my mom, and so he walked into a house and he walked right into the kitchen, and my brother turned around and said, "Nope, this isn't the house for you." And I said, "Why? We haven't even seen it. I want to look at it." And he said, "Well, look. There's no window above the kitchen sink that looks out into the backyard, and you're not going to be able to see the kids, so you don't want this house." And I went, "Oh, I didn't know that." Things like that realtors just know is so amazing and so helpful when you're working with first home buyers, for sure. Oh, yeah. These little things come out in your day-to-day where you're just, you pick up on the smallest little details that actually might change the game for people. Yeah. And you know what? It's funny when I watch real estate shows all the time, and I think it's so interesting, and I don't know if this happens with you. With your clients ever walk into a house and say, "No, I don't like the paint color"? Do you have to explain to them that they can easily change the paint color? Yeah, I've had definitely a few clients that can't see past minor changes, but with the right education, it it might end up saving them some money.
Yeah, right. Exactly. You got to be able to be open to it. But I think some people just can't visualize things. I'm actually like that. I can't visualize things until they're actually, when someone says, "Oh, we're renovating our house and we're doing this," and then I can't even see what they're talking about. And when it's done, I go, "Oh, is that what you were talking about?"
Yeah, exactly. It's not easy for everyone. It's sometimes not even easy for me, but this is honestly, this is where I bring Monique in. She has a great eye for interior design, for potential of space. So, we're able to help people out in that, to that end. And, it's some of the ones that are kind of have the worst layout and, not the best interior design that you can get a good deal on, that you can, that they might be happiest with in the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So tell me, I know the real estate market in your area is really, really busy and very expensive right now. The prices keep going up and up and up. So I just had this thought pop into my mind about, renting versus buying in Vancouver. Does it happen sometimes where people, you kind of have to explain to people that it's probably cheaper for them to buy than just to rent? I just had this come up with an interview I did yesterday.
Oh yeah. I mean, all the time. I'm 28 years old, so a lot of my friends, they kind of always toying with the idea. Even my brother right now is looking at buying a place, and his rent is exorbitant. It's about $2,000 a month, and I think what an absolute waste of money. So it depends on also where you are and what your values are in life. If you should be investing in the real estate market. Yeah. Some people don't really believe in it for whatever reason, but I think if real estate is your goal and you want to own your own home, then yeah, it doesn't necessarily make sense for everyone to be renting, because rents are even so high that because they get proportional to the mortgage payments that the landlords are making.
Oh, right, yeah.
So having such crazy rents, you might not get to live in Gastown, but as long as you get into the market, then you work your way up the ladder in order to be able to get that townhouse and eventually that house. Yeah,
that's exactly right. When you're young, right? Our first house that we bought was like really quite a dump, and we worked really hard to fix it up, and then we sold it and made a big profit, and we moved up. That's what you don't buy your dream home when you're 25.
Yeah, no, I mean, not when you're in Vancouver. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's right. Not in Vancouver, not anymore.
No.
Yeah, so I'd like to know another story about did you have any situations where it seemed like a deal was going to kind of fall through and you had to do some really creative thinking and maneuvering to make it happen?
Well, there's been a few of those. What's a good example? I think one was I've been looking with some people for quite a while at kind of nicer apartments because they were considering downsizing, but couldn't find anything that they really liked. And when we did, it was multiple offers. It was bid, $500,000 over the asking price. So it was
$500,000 over the asking price?
It was one of the only very nice penthouses in the area.
Oh my gosh!
It was crazy.
Wow.
So when I told them that, they almost didn't believe it. So that took some creative thinking on how I can make their dream of downsizing out of their house into a very nice apartment, but not spending almost more than what their house is worth.
Yeah, that's not the point of downsizing.
No, not at all. So what we did was we called through our database to see if anybody had anything that was they were willing to sell, and we found a really good solution where someone wasn't really thinking about selling. They had quite a few restrictions on being able to sell their house that they couldn't list it. So we came to an agreement between the buyer and seller where both were happy with all the terms, and one person got to liquidate their condo. The people that we ended up selling their house for got to move into their dream home, and they're going to be there for a long time.
Oh, that's
and that was it required some creativity and some hard work to find people where the solution wasn't available, to get them into a place in a market that was kind of tough for home buyers.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So I guess you have quite a database now of people who, you don't just go to the MLS and look for listings, but you call your own people as well.
Oh, the problem is in Vancouver especially, there's on any given day, there's got to be 30, 40, 50,000 realtors. I mean, let alone buyers looking at the MLS. So you have to think outside of the box to find, you know, where these listings are and how you can get people into homes that, you know, you might not have 4 or 5 offers on.
Right. Wow. Busy times. That's great.
It was a crazy year for sure.
Well, and I can only see it getting busier. It's not like we're getting more land, you know?
That's it. I mean, the supply is limited, and that was one of the driving factors to why prices went up so high in the last couple of years. Was that there's not a ton of listings out there, and there's lots of buyers. The demand for Vancouver in general is just so high.
Yeah. Can you tell me, you know, what do you, Monique, do when you get a listing? What are some of your marketing tactics that you use to sell the home?
In order to sell to any given place, we have to look at the goals of the seller. We have to think kind of where they want to be, how long they want to take to sell. We try to give a full marketing package for every client, should they want it. Mm-hmm. We do videography with drones for our listings. We do full brochures with floor plans, high quality photos. We're always actively marketing to our database. Part of our business plan is always being on the phone with people, always being in front of people. So we're doing open houses. We're always out in the community talking to people, always with other realtors. So we're very high in marketing properties, both verbally and on the internet. Mm-hmm. So we just push our properties as hard as we can in order to get, you know, the best price for our sellers. That's
great. Yeah, and I'm sure you do. Does it happen often that the offers come in over asking price?
Well, in this year, it's been it was pretty frequent that offers were over asking. Like we managed to sell one house for about $400,000 over.
Oh my gosh! What was the sale price?
It was about $2.9 million.
Oh my gosh! And was it like a mansion?
It was a very nice custom built home, about 10-year-old.
Wow, ocean view, obviously.
Had a bit of views. It was in a great area, and just the homeowners had really great taste when they were building it, to the point where it was wanted by many.
Wow, that's great. That's fantastic because it was one of a kind.
It was definitely one of a kind. It was just a crazy house. It looked like a country home in the middle of kind of a suburban neighborhood.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, the picture of the home on your website that's all open and overlooking the ocean, that is incredible too. Was that one of your listings?
I was not. So that was our marketing department kind of put us together a new brand, a new website this year. So I'm very happy with them and the work they did for us.
Yeah, good. So let me switch gears for a minute and ask you, what are you and Monique's principles as business people? Your guiding principles?
Yes, I think the main one that can't be stressed enough is integrity. Mm-hmm. I think that, you know, I treat people how I'd want to be treated, which basically is give people the information and let them be, you know, let them drive themselves where they want to go. Give them everything they can in order to make a good decision. Mm-hmm. I don't hide things from people. I'm fully open. I tell them exactly how it is, so that, you know, at the end of the day, the decision was theirs.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's kind of how I run my business for the most part. We're very honest. We always, you know, as I said, tell people how it is. If, you know, we get some feedback, we'll let them know, good or bad, just so they're aware, so they know exactly kind of where their property sits in the grand scheme of things. Mm-hmm.
I think you're both very kind, too. Like, I can see people feeling well taken care of when they work with you.
I appreciate that. Yeah, we are. I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn, but we're generous people. We definitely treat people with respect. And yeah, we're out to help people achieve their goals in real estate, right? Like, we work as hard as possible to make sure that they're happy. And, you know, if anyone is unhappy with anything, we'll work as hard as possible to make it right again.
Yeah, good. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I can totally see you guys doing that. And then, like, that's why you have such a good reputation.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. So tell me, how are you different than your competitors?
How are we different? We work day and night. We work so hard to get people either the homes they want or get their homes sold. We do full marketing packages, and I think beyond anything else, when I'm not actively working on marketing our properties or finding something for our buyers, we're expanding the business. We're trying to find new ways. I'm always, keeping educated, going to courses, honing my skills, so that, I'm young. I know this is kind of the time where we should be kind of growing. So I'm always trying to get a little bit smarter than the competition, trying to figure out new marketing ways, looking outside the box, even watching real estate shows to see if I can tweak anything, if I can be a little bit more creative so that, we can always stay a little bit ahead. I think that's kind of how we're different. I work harder than most. I'm always working. I'm just always trying to get the best results for my clients.
Oh, that's great. I could see you on a real estate TV show one day.
Yeah, I would like to be. I'm really into watching $1 Million Listing New York right now, and man, watching their lives are crazy.
Oh, I know. It's amazing. I love the LA one. I love those shows. Yeah. They're so cool. They're so fun. Actually, one of the people that was in one of my real estate books, she was on a San Francisco episode, but it hasn't aired yet. I'm dying to watch it.
Oh, really? Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. It's so cool.
Yeah, every apartment they sell is like $7 million. It's crazy.
I know.
And then you think it makes Vancouver look cheap.
I know, right?
Right.
Absolutely. So Jesse, I know what I think makes you and Monique real estate game changers. But in your words, what makes you a real estate game changer?
Oh, what makes us a game changer? I think we're a dynamic team. We are always trying to improve ourselves. We are always working as hard as possible, and I think it shows. We've doubled our business. I've doubled my business since I started in 2008, year over year. And then
wow, really?
Absolutely.
Oh, awesome.
And that was just honestly just grinding, going out and being face-to-face with people on a daily basis, just doing anything I could. I joined the real estate board as a director just to try to get, good relationships, learn the industry from that end of things.
Great.
And just as we proceeded on, I joined up with Monique, and, it's been a great partnership. And since we started together, we've been doubling our business. So it's just, I think just the hard work pays off is all it is, really.
Yeah. And that's definitely game changers. I mean, a lot of people sort of dabble in real estate, but if you want to really succeed, you have to go in full on. And the fact that you've doubled your business every year is just amazing to me.
Yeah, we've been very fortunate. We have great clients, people that trust us, that work with us very closely, and they refer us to their friends and family. And we're very blessed to have such generous clients.
So how can our listeners contact you?
We can be reached on our Facebook page, which is the Williamson's Real Estate. Our website is www.thewilliamsons.ca.
Okay.
Our phone number's on there. I can be reached at 604-754-0678 or at jesse@thewilliamsons.ca. Excellent.
Well, thank you so much for your time today. I know you're very, very busy, and I really appreciate you coming on the show.
It's my pleasure, Suzanne. Thanks a lot for having me.
This has been another episode of Real Estate Game Changers Radio with your host, Suzanne Doyle Ingram. To hear all episodes featuring our hand-picked real estate game changers, visit us online at www.realestategamechangersradio.com.